A lot of wives are like, no, I'm never getting in that plane with you. One goes in the plane, then the other one will fly commercial so that they're not in the plane together. No, she's with me. The day I got my certificate, she was out there with me that day.
How was the flight in?
It was good. It was nice and easy. A little bit of turbulence, but hey, that's what happens when you fly your own plane.
That's it. I was going to say, not many people are flying their own plane. Give some backstory to that. When did you get a plane?
I got this plane a little over a year ago. One before that, I had a year or so before that. But flying was always a dream of mine. I always wanted to be a pilot. Took a couple lessons when I was in high school. Loved it, but I mean, it's expensive. And so I had a mind block that I'd never be able to do it. A few years ago, my wife Amy got me a gift certificate for Christmas to have flying lessons. And fast forward, she loves it. Our kids love it. We go all over the place, and it's very, very nice to have that flexibility and not have to go through TSA and wait and do this and do that. We just go out, pull our plane out of the hangar, take off.
That's so sick. We were talking on the drive over here from the casino, and I mean, you said you show up half the time, you don't even have to deal with anybody, and you just get in the plane and fly on over.
Yep.
That has to be crazy. And you said you've always wanted to be a pilot?
Always. I grew up next to an Air Force base. And so I always saw pilots, always saw planes, and that was what I wanted. But kind of like Notre Dame, I wanted to go to Notre Dame, I thought at one point, but had to have really good grades. Kind of the same with Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
So that ended up not being in my cards, but yeah, I always wanted to be a pilot. It was a dream I always had.
What was the process like in actually getting your pilot's license?
There's a ground test you have to take. You have to study through. You have to go through that. Then there's a lot of flight training you have to do. They take you through very specific scenarios, like what happens if you're flying and you lose your engine. What are you going to do? Because it happens. If you're at this altitude, if you're at that altitude, and it takes a while. Sometimes people take it out, extend it out and do it over years, and that takes a lot more flight hours. Sometimes people do it really quick.
That's what I was going to say. How quick were you able to go from start to finish?
I did mine, and I want to say 11 months, but I almost did mine twice because I was almost complete going through what most people think of as a normal plane, a Cessna. But we had bought our own plane, and I wanted to get more training in it. And it was a high performance, had retractable gears, was a lot more to do it. And I went, you know what, before I get my family in this with me, I want as much training as possible. So I restarted all my training over in that plane with a different company. And so it took me about 11 months, but you can do it in just a couple months if you've got the time.
Damn.
That's so cool. And being in Oklahoma City, you've got kind of good access to a lot of different parts of the country fairly easily, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're very, very central. I've flown up as far as in the U.S., flew up to Teterboro, which is next to Manhattan and on the New Jersey side. Long story, I'll make it short. We flew up, landed. My sister and brother-in-law who live up there picked us up, took us to Broadway, took Amy to a Broadway show for our anniversary. Sister, brother-in-law picked us back up, took us back to Teterboro. We flew out.
Wow.
I mean, never in my life imagined I'd be able to do something like that.
Wow.
I just got chills.
I saw that. That's so sick. I think that's it's not necessarily in my cards, but the idea of seeing somebody who like wants to be a pilot, does it, and then you can take your wife to Broadway and just on your own. It's like you took an Uber almost. Yeah. Not same level, but
yeah.
Well, and the cool thing about us is Amy loves it just as much as I do.
That's awesome.
And a lot of wives are like, no, I'm never getting in that plane with you. Never happening. They'll like if one goes in the plane, then the other one will fly commercial so that they're not in the plane together. No, she's with me. The day I got my certificate, she was out there with me that day.